feels so right. Fight for tomorrow, the past is behind. Take what you want and make off in the night. Young and we're reckless, you reap what you sow. Burned out both ends like the time that we sow. Faster than lightning, we're on a roll. Take me on a journey, get out of control. Ooh, jumping on the midnight train, going somewhere I can't explain. Ooh, jumping on the midnight train, jumping on the midnight train. Feels so right, oh, feels so right.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Sit when I go number 1 and number 2.
There's no escape, these thoughts in my mind. A whirlpool of wrongs, it feels so right. Out of the darkness
All day, every day. Live from the Beats Lab. All day, every day. Dr. D, what's up, man? Dark Horse. Saruman.
Let's do it!
Yo, dog, it's the beach lab, pain on the brain. Flow the heat, but my chaos won't wane. Trace the lines fine and brushing my hand. Not a scientist, but I got the plan. Wash it down like a hobo's dream. Heart pull heavy, but the colors gleam. Twitch stream live, we chasing the thrill. Kenny Boo, cherry vibes, spending time to my will. Next level painting, yeah, we breaking the frame. Literal best of all days, no two are the same. Brush, spray, chaos, we redefine art. Live in the beats lab, tearing worlds apart. Good. Tearing worlds apart. Go, 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 go. Mixing pigments like potions, I'm brewing a storm. Art in the chaos, breaking every norm.
Yo, dog. Katie Boucher here, Next Level Painting. Hitting you up on that literal best of all days, coming to you live from that Beats Lab. Captain Bayhammer with the resub. Dr. D, my man the Huff, Recoil. Recoil's dope intro song. Saruman, I showed you a picture to Eileen and she thought that shit was so tight. You're like in the background doing it and she's like zooming in and you're wearing the fanny pack. She's like, oh my fucking god. Easy peasy in the chat. Pikmin, what's up, homie? Thank you. Templar in chat. It's funny now because now it's like using your little profile. I relogged into the chat app. It actually has little profile tiles next to you guys. If you set your profile tile up on like Twitch. or YouTube. Baker, what's up, player? Working on some wolves right now. My man Waldo's, what's up, homie? Professional incompetence. Kilty O'Neill. Rhea Prey. The new season of PoE 2 dropped while I was in PR. That's what I was doing on Tuesday when I was laying there not streaming. I hurt my back between the concert and the jet blue fucking seat. Jacked my back up. It's a lot better today. It's still sore though. Soromon, my daughter took the picture. She laughed her ass off when I strapped the fanny pack on and strolled into the top of the slide. Bruh. Legend. Yeah, Recoil's like a poet. He writes a lot of poems and like makes things rhyme all the time. He does like a lot of wordsmithing historically. Sormon, so he just like applied his skill set to lyrics and his love for AI and match made in heaven, dog. Did you hear the fucking Long War one? Waldo says, I'm doing well. Congratulations. My wife and I hit 21 years this summer. Absolutely love being married and hope your nuptials are successful. Congratulations, homie. The nups. What does that word mean? I'm going to Google that shit. I like the way it sounds. I'm going to overuse it for like the next 3 weeks. Nuptial is a wedding? Straight up just a wedding. I'm gonna overuse the fuck out of that word. You know how I get. Baker, the Long War Country one, yeah. Andrew over on the tube, grants an engagement that you wouldn't be on the sidelines for long. Rico, how are you 50, bro? That doesn't even make sense, man. I've seen you. I look 50. You look 30. Why does everyone have better genetics than me? Easy peasy. Let me get some love in chat from my man, Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy. Baker, it was so good, right? Cause that's even like a modification because we had an intro that Rico already made where he did like a kind of roll call and he's like, it's too corny, I cut it. Here's the one. I used it last week. But then Haspel heard it, he's like, yo, put a corny ass roll call in it. And then Soromon says, no, I missed the start of the show Wednesday. I need a place to stream. So I get my energy on before I lock in Obesity Cradle for my painting sessions. Yeah, if you go listen to the recent episode, I run it as the intro for like 30 seconds. There we go. Cat the band. I'm getting nuts. Oh, so I'm gonna be using the shit out of this. Recoil is a wizard, Dr. D, yeah. Easy peasy with the fucking Goro. Yo, dog. Dr. D says, Kenny, you don't want to stand next to me. You might look your age. You looking weathered? Go Boy says, everyone having better genetics? Dude, have you met me? Forgot how old you. Unless you're like my actual age. Because I just assumed you were like 65. Yeah, I've met you multiple times. Easy peasy. Actually, I had many opportunities to buy a pava during the trip. Many opportunities. It was everywhere. So I didn't want it because they know that Bad Bunny like made the pava super fucking popular this year because of the nature of his new album. So they're just selling them everywhere, dude. Like it was like you didn't have to go find one. I was like, I don't want this. Everyone has one. I want to be the one idiot wearing it. You know, that's my whole bit. Go boy 48. I mean, I think you look good for 48. I think you look really good. Pick me. People tend to think you look younger than you are. Not me. Not since I grew this beard. My man Matt Cool says, "Grats, well done. Thank you, brother." That's the reason you shaved your head, Recoil. I'm getting there. That's why my haircut, you know, like the closer I keep it, the better. But this is getting thin up top, and eventually it's all gonna go, dude. Dr. D gifted a sub to your boy Pikmin. Yeah, go boy. If we shave, we look younger, but we don't like the way our faces look, so we grew beards. Pikmin, you'd be 56 at Adepticon. Nice. Meticulous, congrats on the engagement. Really enjoyed the last Longwood podcast. I'm glad to hear that, bro. Yeah, you were in there doing a lot of Q&A. Replay, congrats. Thanks, man. So, I'll show you the hat. So this is the hat I wanted. Dark Horse. But it's like so popular. Everyone had it, dude. I wanted to be the idiot who bought it. Like they had it like at the airport when you got off the fucking plane for you to buy, dude. Like I'm like, no, dude. They were selling them at the Bad Bunny concert, man. Because the whole album is about like the culture, you know? Templar says, "Grats on Eternal Damnation." Thank you. Go Boy says, "I'm really healthy. Annual checkup yesterday. Besides aches and pains, perfect health." See, I knew you were. Our Dog says, "Start the hymn script now." Just gonna shave it, dog. Fuck it. So yeah, the Pava, I wanted, so I didn't get it. But guys, like I said, my whole bit is like being the one idiot. And it was like everyone had it everywhere we went. And everywhere we went where people wore hats. But so I settled on a different hat. So when I went to the mall, so this is how this hat's. This is why the reason I got this hat is a whole story. So I got that's the Puerto Rican Classic team, right? 2023 Classic Baseball Tournament. So when I was on the airplane, the landing in Puerto Rico, there was a guy with this hat. And I was like, that fucking hat fucks so hard, I want it. And I was like, I told that lady, I was like, go ask that guy where he got that hat. She's like, no, you're ridiculous. And I was like, it's got to be a baseball hat. Look at it. The thing is so fucking dope. Pikmin. I had one of the. You had a pava. Used to fish with it. Easy peasy. It's funny because you're Asian and you're referring to yourself as an Oriental, which I've always thought was not the correct terminology. That hat slaps, right? So then when I went to Lids to get it, they had it. Tormon, you love the WBC? Yeah. So when I went to Lids to get it, we went to the Plaza Los Americas, like the Mall of America in San Juan, because that's where we had to pick up our VIP tickets, and there was like an experience we went to. It is a really fucking nice mall in San Juan. And so I went to Lids to see if they had the hat, and they did. I talked to the guy, and he's like, here you go. And I was like, damn, this is perfect. I got in line to pay for it, and the guy in front of me, Puerto Rican gentleman, he said, that's a good hat. And I was like, right? And he was getting the new LA Dodgers like hat. He's like, that hat means a lot to us. And I was like, please, I've been begging someone to tell me about this fucking hat. Looked over at Eileen, she's just like rolling her eyes. And he was like, bro, 2023, he told me the whole story. Like, they went really far, went to the quarterfinals. We're playing against Mexico, leading 4-0. Lost it, and then in the ninth, Mexico turned it around and 5-4'd them. And that ended their run. But they also, like, it was huge because they also, like, beat Dominican Republic, which is, like, their biggest rival. So, like, they're like, this was, like, big year for us because COVID delayed it. Then it happened. And so I'm like pretty sure that you're gonna struggle to find this hat in the Lids. This is the 2023 Puerto Rican hat, right? You're probably not gonna find it in the Lids, like mainland, right? So that's the hat we ended up with. That's my daily wear right now. Ro, you live in New York City? Tons of Puerto Ricans live in New York. Like after the hurricane, they came to Orlando and New York. So that makes sense. I bet I could find it in Orlando. It's my daily drive, yep. Yeah, fucking baseball's huge in Puerto Rico. The park by Airbnb, there's kids playing baseball in the park. And what? Yeah, New York City's a baseball town. Yeah, that makes sense, Elro. Like that hat is known. So it's a good hat, bro. such a good hat. So yeah, like, but it was dope because like the guy took like 5 minutes to share the story of like why that hat's significant. You know, while I was at Lids. So it was really fucking dope. Because like I'm an obvious tourist, right? Even though there's a lot of tourists floating around San Juan for the Bad Bunny concert, I stand out. How was the Bad Bunny show? Dark Horse, the Bad Bunny show was at the Coliseum, was like, it's as a residency, it was on par with any Vegas level performance I've ever seen. Like Vegas level. Out of control. The floor seats were great. The VIP experience was, it felt VIP, like easier access to bathrooms, like a kind of a private bar area. So like when we went to go get drinks, we had people bringing us drinks. We could order. If you want to get a dope cocktail, it was like right there, like chill. It was extremely, it felt very worth it compared to the stadium seats. And it was pretty ballin'. Like the crowd, the decibel level of the music was insignificant to the decibel level of the crowd, bro. You know, when you're watching, like, when you're at like a crappy venue watching like a rock band and your eardrums are just blown out afterwards. Like that is what happened because of the fucking crowd, not the music. Like, oh, it's fun. Yeah, baseball. Yeah, baseball was awesome, man. I used to be so into it as a kid. I lived in Florida when we got the Marlins. Lug Lugabre says, "Don't have time to stay. Remember your YouTube video from years back when you helped me progress. Just wanted to drop in and say congratulations on your engagement. I really appreciate you saying that, brother. Thank you so much." That I appreciate that. Yeah, so like the whole trip was tight, guys. So, you know, JetBlue, fucking terrible. I mean, it's fine, you know, but like, man, it's like the seats are hella small, bro. Like they felt real small, lacking in padding and back support. And I'm pretty sure it fucked my back up coming back. But we landed in San Juan. I get an Uber driver, just regular Uber. Bro, it was a mistake. After my first Uber drive from the airport to the Airbnb, I was like, Uber Black only. That shit was insane, bro. Most insane Uber drive I've ever had. Painting bites, thanks, man. JetBlue is not Spirit, so you still win the game, Dr. D, right? Recoil, yeah, dog. Always Uber Black. After that, yes. Yeah. It was preposterous. The Airbnb was quaint. It was like a big house cut up into like 3 or 4 apartments. It was so like most people stayed up by the airport, like the tourist zone. We stayed down, but extremely close to the venue. We were like literally a 15-minute walk, 20-minute walk from the venue. And like, so we were like 20-minute walk outside of downtown. Tolis, what's up, brother? So we were more in this, you know, in the thick of it, right? And it reminded me very much of like my memories of like growing up in Hialeah. Like, that's kind of like the vibe, right? More rundown, for sure. Lacking in certain, you know, maintenance. Chickens fucking everywhere. Hyenas running around. Cats. We walked down to this bodega, like truly just like down the street on the corner. like a little elevated bar. People just drinking medallias on their phones. Go in, get some Puerto Rican candies, get 2 6-packs of Medallia. It was like fucking $12 for 12 beers. Meticulous Chaos. Uber Black. It's one of the options in Uber. Uber Black is like professional drivers. Like they make it their real ass job. And they have nice cars. When I lived in Los Angeles, whenever I Uber Black, they wore suits and shit. JPC, Santa Claus nephew getting married. Grants. Thank you. So that was tight, bro. Like, and then we walked down. We were trying to grab some dinner, so we just kind of kept. I mean, so like, I felt safe enough to just be walking in the middle of the night. Like, we're just like weaving through like neighborhoods, like between like a couple people just chilling in a fucking lawn chair and a food truck. Some people, you know, like I mean, it's like it's how it is, right? And found this little bar restaurant way down the street, and got some real ass home cooked fucking Puerto Rican food. And the beans, my lady ate the beans and she was like, fuck. She's like, my beans are shit. And she's immediately like hypercritical of the beans that she cooks now. And hasn't even cooked them since we've been home. And she cooks beans every day, guys. Because she's just like embarrassed by her beans now. Dan Hammer says, yeah, it's wild getting out of the mainland U.S. You're like, why is it so cheap? It's funny because, like, only there was shit cheap. Like, where I was staying. Because it wasn't in the tourist spot. Everywhere else, like, in the core San Juan, was basically American prices. Like, straight up. Only right there. But if like all the other people who came to the concert from the mainland, they stayed up where all the other concert goers stayed, and I'm sure everything was super touristy for them. But San Juan's nice. I mean, some areas are eye-openingly impoverished, you know, like, but never felt in danger. Everyone was super nice. Even like people just on the street, just like you walk by, you interact with them. Meticulous Cat says she's about to be on the grind to up her bean game. Yeah. Gabby Chuela's her pink bean game. Yeah, it was dope. But when we both got home, we were like, "That's it, though, right? Like we're done, right?" She's like, "Yeah, fuck that." We both looked at each other. We're like, "We're not doing that again." We just like, bro, we're fine, just chilling here on the weekends and playing video games. It was a wild trip. The experience was great. The mall was great. The food was great. Concert was great. Bought some Puerto Rican candies at the airport on the way home. Stormont says he was in Costa Rica a couple years ago and was struck by the disparity between the good areas and the other areas. He went to college in Chinatown and saw some shit. But no, yeah, it's completely different. Yeah, like no one ever hassled me. But like, we were in Sectores. We went there to Casita La Blanca. It's like a a restaurant everyone tells you about. It's a straight tourist trap, and it's not in a tourist zone. It's in a super poverty, low income area that, like, if you're Google, they're like, you probably shouldn't go here. And we went there, and as soon as we got out of the Uber, I looked around and I was like, this is a tourist trap. Like, she's like, everyone says this restaurant's good. And like, she's looking at it. There's a huge line of just like well-dressed Americans waiting to get in like it's a fucking club. The prices are $30 a plate. There's not even windows on this place, bro. There's not even AC, dude. It's like in the full ass hood. And I was like, it's a tourist trap, bro. And then I immediately pulled up the app for Ubering, and Ubers were four times more expensive to leave. I was like, that got us. I mean, nothing bad happened, but it was like noteworthy of like completely. I mean, this is like 7 minutes in the Uber away from where I'm staying. It's completely different, bro. Completely different. But yeah, that's the story. Got home, back hurt, fell sick, canceled Tuesday. I'm engaged. We're gonna get married next month. We're gonna get nupped next month. My niece came by today so I could help her replace light bulbs in her car. Pop goes the monkey. What's up, brother? He says, congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. Going to my parents' house tomorrow. Playing the new League of Path of Exile 2. Everything's great. Just got to get back on the grind. Got to set up the new class calendar. Got to ship out some swag to you guys and some gift boxes, t-shirts and stuff. Look at Pop Goes the Monkey. He's all caps. I'm so happy to see you're engaged. You look so happy. Thanks, man. I am happy. It's very different than it once was. My life is completely different now. That post on Instagram got a lot, I saw it got so many comments and hearts. I was like, I felt really good about that. See how many people were cheering for my engagement. Made me feel so good. Sorma says, I got the shirt with my hobo brother eating chicken at 3 a.m. talking Warhammer. Just Dr. D, funny how your life for you began at 40, yeah? Getting married, moved into a house with my lady, 42 years old, the first time. Got the banhammer. VT view from the turret says scratch. Thanks, man. Banhammer says you and Warpig were talking the other day about how good it is to see me having up and up. Thanks, man. Like it's completely different, bro. Like I look forward to hanging out with my partner, doing activities. We share a lot of time in the same room. Like, you know, a lot of times she's in here playing video games while I'm playing video games. Never used to do shit like that. Like it's completely different. My stress is gone. Anxiety's gone. Like, fine. That's right, Sormon. So let's get back to the Space Wolves. We need to finish these guys off because I need to give them away. Who won the Space Wolves? I fucking forgot. I'm sure it's on the Sacred Scroll. Recoil with them? Deservedly. Recoil hacked it. Oh, I got it. Exclamation point, no promo. All right, let's see where we're at. So this is our proof of concept. And these are our two tabletop guys. Banhammer says no promo. I think we're doing the boxes this month, right? For the month ender. Is that what we're doing? These little guys? Is that this month? How many are printed? 4. And add the 5th. Yeah, so we're gonna give away battle ready boxes at the end of the month, which I'll make graphics for next stream. But my little tip beggar bar, got nothing. $20 is $20. Exclamation point, no promo. But I'll start promoting the month ender boxes. But I think we got something for October too, right? We're gonna that's the real big shit we wanted to do. Those other cases. Okay, so we're at battle ready. Where's that shadow coming from?
Question.
What?
Are we not saying phrasing anymore? I'm coming! Phrasing boom!
Come on, make a hole.
Phrasing boom.
Tell Archer I'm coming for him. Phrasing boom and
There we
both
go.
berries out.
$20 is $20. What do I do now?
100% funded. Look at that. Shout out to my man Waldo's. Yeah, October's gonna be, because I got another thing going too for that Captain Banhammer. So October's gonna be crazy. Let me get some strong man love and chat from my man Waldo's. Thank you. Waldo's 100% of that shit. Okay, so I guess the next real thing is highlights. I don't know. What are you guys thinking? Do we want to edge highlight, or do we want to work on their axes first? This light's bothering me. Highlight the maxes, get the body done first. That's basically, edging is fun. Edge highlighting will make it look a lot better, a lot faster. Alright, let's do that. Let's get some faded ultramarine out. So remember, that's the half of the two-piece. Payne's gray. The other half of the two-piece. That was our airbrush workup. And then we use this white blue to go even further. Now, one of my things that I teach all my students is when you're edge highlighting, it's high opacity, low moisture. A little flow improver will help, but you're not using it to like thin the paints down. You're trying to raw dog it. What we want is like these parent piles. And what we're looking to do is kind of grab what we need as we need it. So for example, if I'm going to edge highlight right here, I know that it's mostly just Payne's gray right there, right? So we'll take a little bit of the natural highlight, show it some respect, high opacity, low moisture, and we'll run a tracer right here. Nice, respectful highlight. This would actually be a shadow down here. It wouldn't actually even be a highlight down in the brighter zones. And we want to use this respectful mix to cut in the highlights in a safe way so we can move kind of fast. So when you're showing it a little respect, you can typically get away with bad lines. And then you just ramp the highlight game up a little bit more. Grab a little bit more highlight. See? Shout out to Steel Dragon, 10 months. Grab a little right here. Use the side of your brush. Hold your breath, swing it from right to left. And you can kind of modify as you go by using your palette and finding respect, just kind of eyeballing it as you go. Rather than one highlight to rule them all, you want to kind of modulate it as you go, and that will keep your brush strokes correct. So anytime you make a little mistake, you should blur into the real estate. And every now and then I'll take the flow improver and I'll use that to kind of almost as a brush soap to rinse my brush out. But I'm not trying to create a puddle of paint. Just kind of resetting the brush and keeping the flow right. Because when you're going high opacity, low moisture, the paint's trying to dry in this brush constantly. Run that tracer. Got to be cognizant of your tip penetration. We're going to use the heart pull. I'm going to crank it up a little bit. Get a touch of that flow improver back on my tip, because that's where the paint really likes to dry. I'm going to crank it up. With a heart pull. And then a tracer right here. Serafina, what's up? Get that little guy right there. Right there. See, now we're cranking it up with the faded ultramarine. And we're just hitting corners now. Running the tracer. Now on this little like ball joint, let's go back to the Payne's Gray, get some respect set up. Because when it's round like this, it's not a good edge for you to hit. So you need to show it a lot of respect because your line's going to get a little thick right there. Stephen Musket just gifted a sub. Bro, let me get some love in chat for that. Now, let's go a step further. I'm rinsing, resetting, grab a little of the flow improver. So we got the white, the blue white. And we want to mix a little bit into the faded ultramarine. There. Want to push it a step further. Don't be afraid to push it. See, by engineering the respect into it, you see, that's just the stuff we airbrushed. We're just eyeballing, and we're just building up on the corners to that final position. Little heart pull. Little heart pull. We get a little bit more. I like that. I'm gonna rinse the brush again. And we're going to go back because down here in this cut, I wasn't cognizant of my tip penetration, and I got some highlight inside that recess in that crevasse. Easy Peasy says, how would you do red highlight again? Wasn't it add white towards pink and filter over? Yeah, so like a lot of times in this situation, if this was Blood Angels, it'd be like a two-tone, like dark and bright color, right? Like a darker and a red. Then rather than try to find a brighter red, I would just get white. And I would just start adding the white to the red, respectfully highlighting it. And then when I was done, I would just take transparent yellow, lower the opacity, and just quickly glaze over those highlights. So let's take the Payne's Gray. Lower the opacity. A little bit of water. And I'm going to try to get back in that recess with a heart pull. To erase my mistake. Yeah, the transparent yellow is really the key in my opinion. I've used other yellows for that formula. Doesn't hit as hard. Tallest UK. What's up, brother? Easy. Pop Goes the Monkey says, also, by the way, you're punching way over your weight class. You must be into it for your amazing models, right? I'm always telling her that. I'm always like, I'm a fucking ogre, bro. She's like, you're so handsome. I'm like, okay. Cracks me up. It's the beard. That's right. Pop goes the monkey. It's really just that I'm nice to her. That's it. Like, I do dishes sometimes, laundry and chores occasionally. She asks me for something, like, I'll go do it. She's just like, this is amazing. Change the oil in the car once in a while. Take the trash out once in a while. All right, so on this side of the model, let's keep going. So you see, we have to eyeball this chest, right? So that's, you can see that that's mostly in between the two. So let's get some respect built, trending toward highlight, right? Bright stuff brighter. Let's run in here with a little heart pull. Right there. Rotate. Let's go a little darker on that. On that spectrum. Let's see if we can trace. Let's get a little bit more highlight. And you don't need to highlight everything. That's a big part of my system. You don't want to get bogged down thinking you got to do an heavy metal paint job. Let's get these little vents lower side only. Right there. And you see, that's, you can only really see his chest from this rotation. So don't get all crazy on it. Dr. D with the gifted sub to Pop Goes the Monkey. Let me get some love there. Pop Goes the Monkey. Yeah. I just try to be nice to her. She's always nice to me. It's just fun that someone actually appreciates me. Lets me be me. That's really the big upsell here, is I'm allowed to just be me. So we're bringing more highlight. Now we're going to grab some of that white blue. Just grab it as we need it. Hey, like that recoil. Since I'm on this side of the model, let's get in here. So here, this is a situation where you can trace all that, but sometimes you trace when you could have just heart pulled, especially something that's tucked in like that, the arm. Just find respect, and I would err on the side of heavy respect. And this is where I might even use a little noosh, because I might be doing some like kind of broad tip, like broad lines. Find respect. And I'm just going to heart pull in here. You see the noosh, we're tamping it down a little bit with noosh. Cutting the opacity a little bit and showing it respect. You don't have to do much back there. You can't even really see that. I might push it a little bit further, a little bit more faded ultramarine. You're just gonna ask about noosh. I've been using it for edge highlight. Yeah, it's really good for it really helps edit your mistakes with edge highlighting. It lets you cut the opacity without adding moisture, so you can still be in control. There you go. So now, like, as you turn them around, you can see we did a little bit of tasty highlighting back there. I want to get the top of that little box. The top shelves. This one too. Maybe a little bit more highlight. Want to get these little vents again. Okay, let's move around right here. Let's get a tracer, and I'm going straight up to. When I have clean angles like this, I'll be a little disrespectful. So I'm using a much brighter position. But I will find respect for this heart pull we got to do right here. Easy peasy. Oh, sorry. That was Soramon who asked that question. About noosh. Or made that statement. So you see, I showed a lot more respect for that line. We've got one of those balls. You got to show the balls respect. The shield's kind of in the way. Got almost a perfect color match there. That's fun. Right there. A little bit more. So that stroke wasn't as good as the previous. So now let's go back a step, find respect again. A little bit of water. And run the edit. Right there. Let's go up closer to the blue-white. right here. Right there. Let's see if I get a little bit in the tip, in the center. Right there. A little gleam. There we go. Beautiful. And we're skipping so many things. You see, we're just letting our good airbrushing conceal stuff. Let's rinse it. Get some of that dried paint off the brush. They said it really beats the brush up. Much love, Pop Goes the Monkey. Now let's see if we can do the little metal, little medallion holding his cloak up. Just want to get inside the field there. Just kind of drop a kind of outer highlight. Use a little bit of the Payne's Gray. I'll just clean that up. Mio, man, with the reset. Let me get some love in chat right there. We are going to at some point have to do these shoulder pads. Right here. And put some yellow in there. Did I get his spit guard? Let's see what angle. Disrespecting it. Show it a little bit more respect. See if I can hit the inside track. With an easy tracer. Boom, look at that. Just keep it going. Running a lot more faded ultramarine right here. The thing about respect is you don't have to do it if you're confident you don't make mistakes. Respect is a great fail rate mitigation strategy. But you don't have to adhere to it when it comes to edge highlighting. Because you can do an edge highlight like I just did without showing it respect. But if you're not great and confident with your edge highlights, showing the respect is going to improve your edge highlights instantly. So we're going to push it further to the white blue. Let's go back and find respect. So I can hit a heart pull right here. And a little bit of tracer right here. And that's not my best work, but go back to the Payne's Gray, lower the opacity. Run a glaze edit, which I teach this in my class. Grab a little bit more noosh and a little bit more faded ultramarine. Right there. So, like I said, you don't need to do any respect at all. You could just hit a gangster and then fix it. Beautiful. I'm not even going to do any of the inside of the hand. The airbrushing will hold up in the scrutiny. So I'm on. You got about to play X-Wing. See me on Tuesday. Thanks, brother. Rotate here. Let's find respect. Oh, I already did some respect. Let's get a little bit more faded ultramarine. Put it right here. Get a little noosh, faded ultramarine involved. Get that tracer, hold your breath swinging from right to left. Looking good. We're going to have to hit a tracer or a heart pull right here. Complete the line. Let's hit that ball. Always show the balls respect. Get a little bit of Payne's Gray back in the mix. A little bit more faded. Little heart pull. We're back here. Faded ultramarine. Hitting those easy tracers. High opacity, low moisture. Let's get a little bit more respect for this heart pull on that line. Let that chill. Let's rinse it. Do a little reset real quick. Do a little flow improver and water trick. Careful not to bring a bunch of water back to the palette. It'll wet your paints up and you'll lose control. So let's get a little bit of that white, blue, and faded ultramarine together. High opacity, low moisture. Let's rotate. Let's find the tracer. Hit the corners. Right there. Hit that edge. Rotate back this way. Always be rotating, guys. Let's catch this little 90-degree. A little bit on the toe. I'm gonna get a little noosh to make this easier. Greyhawk Ravens. There's something about edge highlighting that bothers my eye. Like when you're doing it or when you're looking at it. Okay, we're gonna push it over here now. Say back this way. Let's grab a little of that noosh. Let's lower the opacity. Greyhawk Ravens. Weren't you on the podcast the other day, Greyhawk Ravens? Asking a lot of great beginner questions. We did our Q&A. Rinse, 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 rinse. Yeah, you had like a lot of great questions, as I recall. Says the one to mention not meditation for newbies. I'm the one that mentioned that, yeah. It just looks on, he says it looks unrealistic, but I don't use silver to paint chip it. But he also understands the irony. Look, it's dangerously close. You're trading dangerously close, Greyhawk, to the dark side, which is, although, you know, edge highlight doesn't even look good to me. Doesn't even look realistic. I'm not even gonna do it. I think they look better without it. Now I paint shitty grimdark models. That's the path. So, like, for example, there's a perfectly serviceable, battle-ready paint job. Right? Dope airbrushing. Some clean and quick pen washes. Details painted and washed. Perfectly serviceable. We still had to do the work though. Paint all the things. The problem is the grim dark sliding scale, like, it goes, it might as well be this. It's like, I'm gonna stop painting it and find ways to use product to make it faster, right? Like, it's like, this is what a grim dark paint job how it should start, and then you can do some weathering, but you should put just as much time into it, right? But regardless, this is objectively, by all scales, better. By all artistic measure. Because this has more contrast. And contrast is an objective rule in art. So, edge highlighting isn't about being real. It's about deploying contrast on 32 millimeters. Because the problem is that this, you can do a bunch of cool little chipping and stuff, and it only looks good right here. You know, the further away it gets, like you're playing a game, so it just looks like a blur. Where my guy looks dope right here, here, here. He looks dope over here, right here. Like, so this technique is about validation, right? Like, that's what I tell my students. It's like art is validation. So like my technique is about quickly, repeatably, attainability, sustainability, get your shit done. Go to the hobby shop and have every motherfucker in there be like, damn, your shit's tight. Thank you. You can't buy validation. So like, that's the whole technique. I do it for the validation. So it's all strategies. Everything I do, all my techniques for painting big forces, it's all about like soliciting validation from humans around me. Hero Quest fans, what's up, brother? Reapray. The old floor stain. Recoil says 32 millimeters can't be painted realistically. Yeah, light doesn't work on them. That's a big part of my course. So the problem with like trying to paint realistic is it only looks dope in a light box. Like, it can be done in a light box. Like some seriously dope fucking historical paint jobs out there, like that are like realistic in a light box. You can take a picture of this in the dark and you can still see it. Hero surviving the ogre horde. Hero Quest fans, what's up, brother? You need to be able to completely control the lighting environment, Captain Banhammer, to make your Grimdark really dope. It's like exaggerated makeup for stage actors. Hero Quest, exactly. See, and now Greyhawk Ravens. Here we go. This, and see, I knew this was in his heart. Because remember, I've taught over 500 students Greyhawk through my course. One-on-one coaching. He says, I guess it also comes from my shaky hand, not having good control on edging. That is absolutely the root of it. Everyone hates edge highlighting. 99% of my students who come to me hate edge highlighting. And it's mostly because you gaslit yourself by negatively reinforcing it because you did it poorly, because you didn't know how to do it good. And so if every time you do something, it's a shit result, your brain is processing ways to not do the shit result. It's consequence, right? It's a negative reinforcement activity. So the first step on the road to dope edge highlighting, obviously besides coaching Greyhawk, is you need to start self-gaslighting yourself again. And you just say things like, I love edge highlighting. It's my favorite thing. Completely just straight lie. Lie to yourself. Fuck it. I tell all my students that. Edge highlighting is my favorite technique. That's how I used to have to do that to myself. Now it actually is. Because this is where the magic happens. And so a lot of my techniques are about the concepts, moisture definitions, and brush control strategies. Gotta stop it. Yeah, self-hypnosis. Cognitive behavioral therapy. That's right. Captain Banhammer. Dr. D just threw your boy a sub. Show him some love. For example, Gray Hawk, our newest sub. High opacity, low moisture. That means raw dog. Small 18-0 synthetic brush. This technique is called the tracer technique. I position the model in such a way that I'm making a straight line, hold my breath, swing it from right to left. And I'm just tracing the ledge that exists. Now, rotate. Hit that ledge. And Space Marines are full of tracers. That's not even hard. That's easy. There's so many things in a Space Marine that's traceable. Now, there's another more difficult brushstroke to do called the heart pull. And so anything you can't trace, you have to heart pull. And so you typically want to show it a little bit more respect, but you have to use the tip of your brush position so the tip of the brush is pulling straight back to your heart. And on stuff like this, which I can't trace, that's how I do it. So these are all brush control strategies. Obviously, I've got a model holder, got my hands on the table, connected, braced, and using these two techniques, which I teach all my students, it'll repair 50% of your shaky hand to use the techniques of precision. And see, what I'm able to do now is I'm able to push the edge highlights to their extreme very safely. And so the moisture definition of this technique, high opacity, low moisture. Make bright stuff brighter. As Hero Quest knows. In the diagram that I use to show my students, is this, right? That's a heart pull. And that's a tracer, if you're right-handed. Right? And so when you're watching me do these highlights, for example, just grab some there's a little bit more to it too, right? Because it's the concept of respect, which stems from our first lesson. But I want to trace. So the tracing is find the rotation that supports that arrow. Rotate. Find the rotation that supports that arrow. The mistake is trying to edge highlight against the grain, letting your bristles curve under them. Always be rotating. It's the most crucial part of the tracer. So a lot of people, they get locked in, they get everything perfect, and they get a dope line, and then they don't realize they got to keep rotating on something like this. See? To follow the definition. To stay on track. Always be rotating. And anytime you can't do that, right, and you gotta run a heart pull, tip of the brush straight back to my heart. So we teach a whole lesson on this, the third lesson. The 101 course is airbrushing, washing, and highlighting. More importantly, it's about a language tool and a philosophy definition list. All my students have instant success. My man Aquila in chat. What's up, brother? Says congratulations. Miss Aquila says the ring is gorgeous. Fuck, let me turn closed captioning on. She's still there? It's on. Mic check, 1, 2. We back. Here request says, what's the best if you screw up a line? No, we have another technique called the glaze edit. Here request. I'll show you that in a second. Greyhawk, edging and faces is where I have issues. See, what fixes your faces, Greyhawk, is the heart pull. The heart pull is the best, most important brushstroke in the game. And that fixes all of your issues. Once you master the heart pull, organic surfaces get so hella easy, bro. And also the respect philosophy that I teach everyone. Snoop DeVille. Recoil. Oh yeah, it's that's what I'm saying. It's empiric evidence, right? Like that's another thing, Greyhawk, is like my course is like empirically refined. It's like I know what's in your heart already because of how much refinement I've done on my syllabus. Edge highlighting is dope. It's the dopest shit. Like, I mean, look. This is man, I'd be proud of this if this was my army. But this, that's the magic, bro. That's the HD overlay. You know what I mean? That's the AI fucking upscale. That's what I want. So the glaze edit, the way we cover our mistakes is you have to split the difference, right? We know if I was using this paint, I got to go back in time because when you're airbrushing, you got to always know your paints and they're on the palette right now. Create eyeball a respect blend that kind of splits the difference. Add plenty of moisture to lower the opacity. Take some of that off, and we run a band-aid of low opacity over that. Let it dry. Okay? And as it dries, you can make adjustments and cut back the squirrely lines slowly and reshape it. And then it gives you a second try and coming in for the line. So the glaze edit also gets taught to all my students. And all that is on the faces too, Greyhawk. The way we do the faces is exact same strategy. Okay, you guys want to do a whip session since I've been off the air? Missed two days back to back. Recoil's mom, she's got it going on. Says hello, congratulations to you both. I'm so happy for you. Snoop DeVille says, you ever use white inks? Yeah, they're good. Or good oil-based white ink. An oil-based white ink? I don't know. I've never used a oil-based white ink. Banhammer had a friend that said he sucked at drawing hands. She sucked at drawing hands. Asked her how many she had drawn in the last month. She said 0. She started drawing one a week and now she's a master at it. Yeah, I don't know if that's real. I mean, you can get, like Mr. Hobby makes one, right? They make a technical oil white ink for weathering. But it's just thinned down oil paint, right? Like you're saying. It's not even an ink, it's a wash, you're right. It's not an ink. Ink is quite literally something else. Yeah, what's the purpose of it, Snoop DeVille? What are you trying to do with it? Oh, I just got an alert from Live 360. My lady just got home. She went to the chiropractor after work. Her healthcare pays for that. Yeah, just titanium white and spirits. Using oil-based white ink for different OSL effects. Yeah, white ink is great for runes and such. It's not, it's really good. Oh, my lady's here. Let me go downstairs and meet her. Exclamation point whip. Let's join the Discord. Get a whip session going. Let me give my lady a kiss. My fiance a kiss. There go Matthew. BRB. And we're back. Professional incompetence. What's up, brother? And there go Matthew. She got some Modellas. She was looking for medallions. They're hard to find. Some 90-calorie Modellas. And she went to Thrifty and got some snackies. Oh, bro. Go boy with a 4 logo. Did you really drink this? Man, I hope you found that picture on the internet. Look at this. He posted on the 29th. Congratulations on the engagement. That's his fucked up little thumb. God damn, dude. Did you drink that? And she got me, I don't know what these are, but they're like smashed plantain pancakes. Yeah. We're a food channel. Some good posts. Agrippa, you in there? Working on these P3s. You finished the project. You showed us this. So you mostly use the new P3 paints. Now working on Trench Crusade. Bro, look at that. That's so nostalgic. Oh yeah, these are just stones. Dr. D. That's exactly what they're called. Kind of flavorless because you normally have like stuff on them. Look at that. Easy peasy says one of the things fun about dating a Filipino is the language between Spanish and Tagalog, especially when I tell my Spanish friends that I'm eating some puto. Filipino rice cakes. That's good. Greyhawk says, I threw up a couple of photos and Hell yeah, man. Great job over here, Agrippa. Capturing that old school style. Oh, is this one of those Trench Crusade models? Mr. Noon. There we go. We just did NMM together. We did wet blending and NMM. That's the 201 curriculum. Gray Hawk. After you do my intro course, the 101, that's all you really need to be a good miniature painter. But advanced technique and effects. 201. Beautiful implementation, Mr. Noon. What for the real the super black, super white, blue? So you kind of chromed it out, which I like. And there's the barrel of your tank. Good job, yeah, because practicing on the cylinders is the hard part. You see how strangely easy the whole idea of like a line and a line on a cylinder is, and how good it looks? And you deployed the box, the cube, half step NMM from the lesson on the casing on the last cannon. Wish.com. Yeah, effects are just a procedure that rely on the fact that you already know techniques. And it's just a way to organize the techniques to elicit a practical effect. Super easy. But the problem is people want to learn how to do NMM, but they can't edge highlight. They can't glaze. Good luck. But you do need to crisp up some of these edge highlights, Mr. Noon. It's not mission critical, but it will give you a better result. Oh, nice. I like how you put the green in there. And the fuller. In a much more subtle version. Here, grayscale. Did you watch my Chrome video that I sent you, Mr. Noon? You see how the cylinder gets tricky because it has infinite viewing angle on this. So you have to kind of like pick the view. You have to like almost have to like kind of put it in and pick. So the problem with this angle right here that you're showing me is that I can see two separate horizon lines on the same angle. So if you're going for the chrome, that is a bad viewing angle. Now, I don't know if it's like the bottom of the barrel or you're just practicing, but when you figure out the viewing angle of the 360-degree cylinder, you got to remember that the effect is that this dark line is literally the earth, and the bright line is literally the sky. So right at the gate, if this were the viewing angle, it's backwards, right? Because you have the dark line on top of the bright for the chroming, right? And then there's a second horizon, right? There's another the earth. So you see, that's why it's a little off. Like, it looks tasty. So when you do the effect a little wrong, it doesn't invalidate the effect. It's still a nice, tasty effect. But the reason why you're not convinced it's chrome is because your brain isn't making the connection. Like, as a viewer, not as a painter. Like, as a viewer, my brain knows that when it looks into something chrome that reflects, that it's used to seeing it a certain way, and this is not that way. We're all effects are is tricking the eye into filling in the blanks. So this rides perfect. It's a tri-blend, plane shift, crossfade. But cylinders are the tricky. See in here, this works because you pick the viewing angle. Which is easy, right? Because the last cannon has a top and a bottom. And you just ran it down the side. Bright on top, dark on the bottom. So even though it's really simplistic, that's what the brain wants to see when you're chroming it out. And so that's why this, with less blending and brush strokes, sells the cylinder more. Oh, good job here. Yeah, so you see, you have to like pick angles. So yeah, you have a bright one on the top, a bright on both sides. And that's it. It's nice and subtle. That's all you need right there. It says, I'll work on the chrome cannon some more. Question, when you paint the other side of the sword, do the lines go the same direction? Usually. But you can't see both sides at the same time, so who knows? You can do whatever you want. Nice. See, I like how you're playing with it. Because secretly, we talked about this when we did the class. The most critical technique to be proficient at for a good NMM is actually a tri-lighting, not glazing and not wet blending. And you've proven that right here. Because what you did is you laid your palette out and you just did heart pulls with no attempt to blend them. You were just respecting your way up to bright and dark. And you made sure your lines were parallel on both planes. Beautiful. Killer work, Mr. Noon. I like that jaunty angle to your line work. And you see here on the axe, remember we talked about this in the class. It's a tri-blend on the blade and then dark fade away. Remember that? When we discussed that, like, blade shape. So I have one right here that you can see. Good work. Killer fucking work, Mr. Noon. Easy peasy lemon squeezy off the heels of his painting victory. 36 more to go and the collection is done. Holy shit. How many games have you won now? What's your record? I remember you were brute forcing this. Five and sad. That's what you always say coming back from these. You just go out there, play your best, play your fucking little heart out. Every time. Nobody can keep you down. Nobody can stop you from enjoying yourself. Now he's been on the GSC, Nurgle Matthew, since for a while. And he's just getting his butt kicked, but building a beautiful army. He has an amazing display board. All a 10th. And then they did get cranked, but he didn't know what he's doing. He's got a bunch of nonsense units that aren't cranked for the meta, and he's not going to change that. He already has so much investment in it. So he's just playing what he likes. He's like, oh, cool, I heard they're OP now. That doesn't affect me. Any day you're out there playing with your minis is a win. Any day you're out there with a fully painted, beautiful army with a sick display board, getting that validation, winning painting trophies and shit, and playing 5 games at a GT and meeting people and drinking beers, it's a fucking victory, dog. Nobody can take that from you. Wins on the hobby side, War Pigment says. And me and Easy Peasy did our classes together and workshopped all this. And he's a master of sustainability workflow. Yeah, you took the shittiest list and still had a good time. Own 6. That's right. Nurgle Matthew says, big love for that. Nurgle Matthew, post your knights. Do you have your knights in the Discord? Because I remember Rottweiler showed a few pictures from your guys' game, and I was like, Nurgle Matthew's army fucks, dude. Agrippa. 3 months, baby. Let's go. Let me get some love for Agrippa. Oh, Agrippa. Missed your commentary. You had to go back in time on YouTube real quick. Good tech. Aquila. Oh, got some pictures from Nova. Let's take a look. The big fucking Terminator. Yep. Their Taurian display. I love it. Oh, that's badass. I like seeing all the machinery in it. That's sick. Oh, it's right. It's your brother's birthday for the Spider-Man Doc Ock display. Grippa, that's awesome. I like how it looks like the head of that hammer like deploys. Right? Like it has like these hydros in the back. It almost looks like they have like charges in them, right? What's that tool we use for setting nails in concrete that literally uses like 22 rounds, like bullet, like brass casing with gunpowder in it? Go boy, to shoot the nails in. It almost looks like these are all piped with fucking rounds, so that when you slam it down, this head fucking jumps forward. Ramset, thank you. Stephen Muskin. Thank you. Haven't used one of those in 15 years. Electrician by trade, but use them all the time. War pigment, you hate it when they use those to mount the disconnect box. It's funny because when I did concrete, we use them sometimes. I mean, I never did, somebody else did. Because I just use those like fluted like concrete nails to pin my shit up. And I got good with like just a heavy. And I could just blah, blah, blah. With a fucking hammer. Like a maniac. But those are short nails. Oh, look at this display. Bro, whose was this? Aquila? That's an amazing display. What a great setup. Great composition. Steve Muskie, you do too. 316-bit, hammer drill, Tapcons. Hell yeah. You just saw it sitting around and snapped a pic. Man, credit. Does it have the dude's name on it? Keith? It does. It's right there. Keith Stevener. Stevener? Shout out to Keith. Is it in the same place it's always been still, Aquila? Same hotel? This doesn't look familiar to me. Oh, look at this. Look at that Mortarion. Looks like somebody watched my painting tutorial. Got the blue and yellow orange wings. Aquila, that's it. I thought it was another random picture. Aquila's like, yeah, dude. I watch her. Yeah, literally watching you tutorial right now. Beautiful. Still at the Hilton in DC. Aquila, same place. That is badass. That slaps. I got obliterated at this hotel once. I drank a fifth fucking Johnny Walker Black Label. By the way, can we talk about this? I just came back from Puerto Rico. Johnny Walker is like deeply embedded in Puerto Rico, bro. Like, I don't know if it's like it's like they market hard there, bro. Everywhere I went, they had a Johnny Walker fucking full statue of their logo. And every bar I went to had everything you expect in Puerto Rico stocked in the bar and a single bottle of Johnny Walker Black. Like, I was like, this is unusual territory for them. They were like deep in it. To the point where I made a comment, I noticed. Hammer. Been feeling uninspired lately, but got a lot of assembly done currently. Endlessly tweaking. Flame effect mode. Excited about the new Lord Vitrolic Mini and got some new sick dice sorters printed. Can't wait. Nice. Oh, look at that. Beautiful little flame effects right here. Aquila says, glad I never go there. Johnny Walker Black was my go-to when I was drinking. Yeah, you've been sober for a while, right? Yeah, I used to really like drink a lot of Johnny Walker Black. I had some when I was there. It's funny too, because like I went to, so I made the Coliseum, the actual event hall, Bad Bunny. We had to run upstairs because we get into VIP entrance. We have our own little bar. They have all these like cool drinks. We run upstairs to go to the merch booth real quick, and there's like just a full what is it? Chivas Regal. That's a Scotch, right? I feel like that's my grandpa. That was my grandpa's favorite Scotch. Is it whiskey or is it? Yeah, it's blended Scotch. Yeah. Six years. Congrats on that, brother. And so, like, I remember buying that, like for my grandpa for Christmas before he died, for like a couple years in a row. And they're embedded in Puerto Rico too. They had a huge booth at in the convention center, and we're there getting so we got like conned into these pina coladas because they had like little tiny pavas and frogs on them, and this guy had a big tray of them. Me and my lady get them as we're coming back from the merge booth. I took a sip. I was like, this is just a fucking pineapple coconut slushy. There's no booze in this. She's like, what the fuck? And I was like, hold on. And I beeline to that booth, and I was like, can I get 2 shots of rum, please? And he gave them to me, and I poured them in our pina coladas. And then I was like, oh, let me get a Scotch. I see this is a Chivas Regal. He's like, we don't have Scotch. And his lady's like, yeah, we just have whiskey. And I was like, You're literally the booth. That's fair. That's fair. I'll take a whiskey. Like, I think I'm the only one who was drinking it. I don't think the Puerto Ricans were very receptive to the scotch. Bentley says, living in Kentucky means required to drink bourbon. Bourbon is go. It's peak. Oh, look at this.
Red, white, and blue.
A true American hero.
Congratulations to you and Aileen.
Let me get some strong man love in chat. Strong mom love in chat for Recoil's mom. Dropping me a C note? Oh, thank you. I'll make sure to spend it on Eileen. We're going to get married next month. My brother called me. Was like, yo, when's the wedding? I was like, October 30th. He's like, where is it going to be, man? I was like, St. Cloud County Courthouse. He was like, oh, let's see. And then we're gonna go to my mom's house and meet up with them and grill out. Let me get some love for Recoil's mom. How you feeling? That's right, Tam Wolf. The county courthouse, Justice of the Peace wedding. That's right, baby. Bentley? Oh, yeah, I'm with it. I'm going to get nupped October 30th. And we're going to lope. Catch me dead spending a bunch of money on that. Oh, here we go. Everyone, this is what everyone in Nova was gushing over your Morty. Yeah, I remember the wings now. I remember this. Been to a few of those in your Air Force career, Tam Wolf. Yeah, Bradley, I'm totally with that. Like, catch me dead. When it came up here with Eileen, I was like, you know, what are your plans for the wedding? She was like, I don't know, what are you thinking? I was like, courthouse. She was like, thank God. I was like, I can't. I can't. I'm not gonna max a credit card out or some shit. Like, for something that's already happening in this house right now for free. I can't. You can't convince me. Like, no one will ever be able to talk me into doing that. Tambo says roast is world leader and whip. I got you, bro. I'll roast you. T. Schmitty, no Florida beachside wedding? Hell no. Hell no. Like, we'll just go to the beach, bro. For like $15 in parking and just hang out. Like any day we want. Bradley, use that money for a car. That's right. T. Smitty, thank you, brother. Quilla says, yeah, but recall I messed up. I messed up using oil wash on the wings. Yeah, I remember. That was the big controversy. Bam 88. Marshall. This is Stephen Musket. Beautiful. Solid. Yeah, well done, man. You can streamline this because it looks like you're trying to use the airbrush to highlight the black. Am I accurate on that? Looks like you're trying to modulate the black. You know, like this is 90th percentile Black Templar tabletop like convention. Like you go to any tournament, this is 90th percentile. Like this is really good. Just a few edge highlights, clean execution of details, clean execution of wash is what I like to see. No airbrush? Did you dry brush the highlights on the armor, or is that just light? It looked like specifically here. It looks like you're trying to like maybe you're like trying to dry brush up some highlights on the greaves. Tamwell. So what you are saying is shouldn't expect a mail invitation and no wedding registry. Tamwolf? Yeah. Accurate. I don't need a wedding registry. I have stuff already. Like I have things. Right? I never understood the registries. A new set of cups. I'm like, motherfucker, you know you have cups. Shut the fuck up. Unhappy Dan says congratulations on the good news. Thank you. Bentley, what size needle? Nothing smaller than a 3, nothing bigger than a 3.5. Tamwolf, I reject the premise of that statement. He says, you know the wedding isn't about you, it's about her, right? With a cute winky face. I reject the premise of that statement. I don't subscribe to that way of thinking. I'm 42, getting married for the first time. It's at least 50% about me. Which is why I haven't been married in 42 years. The light's causing most of those highlights? So you didn't dry brush that up? Okay. Never mind. Play on, playa. 90th percentile, Bam 88, aka Stephen Muskie. Keep it going, brother. Bo's magic, done with them. Kingdom, death. Oh, yeah, the witches. Oh, look at this bodysuit effect. Bro, I love that, dude. Bro, I love that. Great job. Reappraise, like, hell yeah, bro. I mean, why do you think it took me this long, Tam Wolf? I can't subscribe to that shit. Tammo says, yeah, I'm not the best for marriage or potential advice either. Tam Wolf, yep. Legendary Tam Wolf. I love that when I reloaded the chat and relogged in, because I'm using a different Restream account since I got hacked. I fixed it, but like now we created two, so like I never stream on that one anymore. And when I reloaded it loaded all of your Twitch avatars into the chat, that my multi-chat. So that's fun because I can see you guys visually so fast now. So some of you guys haven't said anything and it's just like the generic one. But like maybe it's using Discord too. I don't know. But Unhappy Dan's little like sad face, like angry happy face is just cracking me up. Player J, love you, dog. Canastic, thank you, man. Nah, man, like, I was in my last relationship for 10 years. Dodged it for 10 years. Then it's been over 2 years. And now I'm engaged. What does that tell you? You gotta find the right wavelength, man. Like things will get to a place where like you can get as healthy as you want, but you can't negotiate boundaries because the other person doesn't want to participate in being healthy. So there's only one solution. Burn it down. And then enter your new prospect with boundaries. And find who can accept them and who cannot. And simultaneously, whose boundaries you can accept and cannot. Bro, it took like 6 months. It wasn't even hard. Caddick Pain, what's up, man? Life is good, brother. Thank you. Cat the Banner says, I love burning something down. Got a new tat yesterday of a burning barn. Kind of for the same reason you just described. Tam Wolf says, God damn, you want a nickel for that exposition? I'll take 20 bucks. Exclamation point, no promo. $20 is $20, dog. That's right, more pigment. Mo's Magic, legendary. God, he's so good. I love your wild ass style. All right, here we go. Greyhawk Ravens, you still in there? You still with us, brother? There he is. So, I saw him when we were doing the podcast the other day. We did the whole like hobby, not a budget, getting into the game, shit like that. He asked a lot of great questions. He says apologies for the bad light. All right, like you don't need apologies for anything. Like these models suck, dude. Like I'm gonna roast you, dog. Like I'm glad I caught you right now. Glad I caught you right now. Because we can power level and skip all the bullshit. All the headache. We can skip so much of it. Like you're exactly where we all were when we first picked up a model back in the day. So we're gonna fix that, because there are some techniques that any hobo can do to like 500x this, like where you're at right now. So you don't need an airbrush, you don't need any of the fancy tools that we use, and there's still a way for you to, you know, blow this up. So what you have here is you have some patchy base coats of blue, because you're probably also new to painting. So base coats are kind of strange, right? Bad brush control, because again, you're probably new to painting. Like, you're struggling to keep the paint in the right place. I see where you're trying to do some chipping effects. And again, your control is, or lack of knowing like other techniques, like sponge chipping techniques, things like that, is throttling your access. So what we need to do in the short term, you know, stay here, obviously, keep watching the show, but you can proceduralize this with like fucking rattle can primer, sub-assembly, and oil wash. Like, if you just want to get decent results and remove your lack of painting experience from the equation, right? What I recommend is always try to figure. See, you're doing white helmets, blue armor. Well, put all those white helmets on a fucking row of fucking double stick tape, airbrush them all up, or not airbrush them, spray paint them with like a light gray, and then spray paint them again with a white right over the top. Is that a thought? Wow, let them chill. All the blue armor sitting up over here, prime it all black, let it dry, get a two-tone dark blue. You can get some really good spray paints from like Army Painter or Monument Hobbies. Hit them all with a dark blue, let it dry. Hit them all with a top coat Zenithal with the brighter blue, let it dry. You got some black oil wash, Mr. Hobby, or even just black oil paint in odorless spirits.
Hey, man. Thanks, dog.
Buy your future better half something nice with my compliments. Congrats, my friend.
Tan Wolf, I'll tell her exactly what you just said. And I use the beard trimmer you bought me as a gag. I use that shit like every other day, dude, to clean my beard up. So your beard trimmer is why I fixed the beard, is how I fixed my beard when she was so upset about it. So I'll be like, remember the guy who fixed my beard? That guy. She'll be like, oh shit. To get some love in chat for my dude right there. Greyhawk, you still with me? That's a great trimmer, bro. Tan Wolf. Look, that's a great trimmer. So if you can proceduralize it, Greyhawk, I see you in there, with oil wash and just sub-assembly and good spray painting habits, you're going to 10x what you're already doing and do less work. So then the only thing you need to focus on is deploying details better. And a lot of this comes from the tools. This is a technical skill set. You gotta have the right tools for the job, dog. So the right paints will make you better at painting. The right paintbrushes will make you better at painting. So Monument Hobbies, I've got a code. Somebody throw the code up in chat. We've got the one-time big discount. And then we got the 5% forever. Their paints are the best. The paintbrushes are the best. So when you got a little Skrilla and you're ready to make a reasonable order, use as a one-time discount code. 10% off right there. So we can only use that once. So make sure it's on your bigger order, right? best tools that just straight up make you better paint. So then lock the deets in, right? Wash it, GG. And if you use like a black oil wash, you can do all the details and everything first and then oil wash the whole model. It'll give you really solid results. That's no edge highlighting. That's no chipping. There's no blending. That's just good old clean 80th percentile. You know what I mean? Now, in order to improve your brush control skills and actually excel at this, you're going to need to pick a content creator and just do what they say. Right? You don't want to be all over the internet taking a little bit from here, a little bit from there while you're learning. So pick someone. Could be me. Doesn't have to be. But you don't want to get too many people inside your head when you're learning. But brush control really comes down to practice and paint consistency, opacity, and moisture manipulation. Your journey is wide open. I always recommend the airbrush as your next hobby investment. Like, don't buy more minis. Buy an airbrush set. Have a gear list. The sooner you're airbrushing, the happier you'll be. Yeah, and keep these pictures, like Dr. D said. Like, inside of like a month, if you're using some of these ideas, you're gonna be like, oh my God. I was stuck in this step that you're in for like a year. Thank you for sharing. Welcome to the hobby. War pigment. Oh, nice. You got your battle ready box. Look at this. Is that the dice box right there, War pigment? What is that? Well, Florida, you can throw a whip up, dude. Yeah, and Gray, sorry for the dream crushing, but that's how we do it here. Man, this is so good. Battle ready boxes. Someone throw the link up. Oh, somebody already did. Good old Captain Banehammer. And like I said, I've got some battle ready boxes for the month ender this month. We're gonna have 4 to give away, at least. And I'm probably gonna keep this one. And we've got custom colors, and you can put all your accoutrement here. So these are totally custom for us. We'll be giving away 5 or 4 for the month ender. Shout out to Battle Ready Boxes. Oh yeah, the big boxes, they're not even he doesn't have those listed yet. Those are custom. Greyhawk. Yeah. That's the whole point. Like, my whole strategy and philosophy, Greyhawk, is like, I want to bring my shit places and have people validate me. So I've been doing this for 15 years this year. Like, next month, October 10th, 15 years. The whole strategy is to elicit that feeling through a solid base on, emphasis on workflow, corner cutting, cheat codes, knowing where to reinvest our time. You're in a very exciting place in the hobby, dude. You can't get this back right now. Like where you're at in the hobby, special. Enjoy it. Oh, here we go. Tam Wolf says, roast me. Not sure how I want to highlight the Bull Power Red Oxide. Let's see. Is this 2 reds? Tam Wolf? And you see gray. This is like, by our definition here, this is like battle ready. And a lot of people from other platforms will be like, this is way more than battle ready. When you know the strategies, it's almost like deliberate that you would do less than this. This is entry point, and it's easy to do. Now his question, he's ready. He's already in the high 80s percentile if he had a whole force like this. But now he's ready to figure out how he wants to edge highlight the red. So, my whole thing on red, Tam Wolf, is you can do ultra red or you can do yellow red, right? And they're both the same. So, whatever your final form red is, put that on the palette with some white. Make a respectful blend. Create your highlights with that. So it'll be like a very pale pink. Then, up it, cut in. Up it, cut in. Keep building your respect up toward eventually pure white. Build it all like that. So basically it's desaturated pinks all the way to whites everywhere you can. When you let it dry, and either you have 2 choices. Take the same chosen red, lower the opacity substantially, glaze it quickly back over the edge highlight so now it's ultra red. Or take transparent yellow, lower the opacity, and target it over your highlights. And now you've got warm red. And that's like that 90s style. But never use like orange or yellow to edge highlight red. It never works. It will never work. Do it this way. Tam Wolf, I always hate it blowing up models like this, seeing all the little mistakes. Yeah. But when you're holding it in your hand, you can't even see the mistakes. It's fine. Tam Wolf, yeah. Great. Greyhawk says, you changed my mind regarding that highlight in like 10 minutes, dude. Because you see, by following the strategies, first step, gaslight yourself, bro. Edge highlight is my favorite thing. It's tedious. It's not hard. Snazzy, I got you, brother. Greyhawk says, looking at it from your perspective makes sense now. Yeah. I'm glad to hear you say that. That makes me happy. That's like also my brand, Greyhawk, as I tell people all the time. I've been in the game for a long time. Everyone thinks like I'm this like painter and my brand's all painting. My brand is lifestyle, dude. Like I sell fun. I've been doing this for a job for 15 years and I haven't had a not fun day at this hobby. Every hobby day has been fun. Every edition of 40K, every game I've ever played, every fucking tournament I've ever went to, every army I ever made. There's a way to do this. Good job, Tam Wolf. That's my answer. Night Lord. Night Lord 501. A Night Lord conversion. Let's take a look at this. Ooh. Ooh. What's the conversion? Where'd you get the parts? Poor Pimmy says, I was sold on the green. The green red? Are you talking about the green pre-shade? Green Ryan? Tamwolf, that's how I did my Blood Angels. Highlights. I did them with the blue to the red, so they'd have cold shadows. So if you've only done one, you might consider trying the other tech. Tamwolf. I use dark blue. That's my base coat. Then just dark blue and Bull Power Red mixed. Midtones, pure Bull Power Red highlights. So all the shadows are blue, and then do everything I just said and glaze the yellows. The highlights are warm. So you have colorful shadows, cold shadows, warm highlights. That shit is a cheat code. If you can still pivot, pivot. If not, if you're locked in, I hear a cat crying downstairs. Oh, Wolf Lord, this is you. Did I misread that? Oh, hey, okay, I see. Bro, these are great, man. So like this state right here, we refer to this as the hot garbage state. Say, he's got all the details locked in. He's in the process of deploying some clean washes. But until all the borders are established, all the dark stuff's dark, all the little borders around things, all the recesses, until there's that clear delineation between everything and it's locked in, it looks off. So the most important thing is to make the dark things darker. Edge highlighting is secondary to that. Doesn't need to be baked into project completion, but making miniatures look dope is all about frames and borders. Every item needs to be separated from every item by a dark frame. So when you're washing, remember that. These conversions are slick. The paint is applied very cleanly. I'd like to see a stronger sense of recess shading. Only real criticism. Then eventually some edge highlights. But I don't preach that for project completion. Gray Hawk says, tournaments are for me. Way too many problems with the unsportsmanlike in the area. Yeah, the local scene is shockingly more shit than the GT scene, even though the locals like to call the tournament players like the win at all cost dudes. It's the other way around. You just got to find a crew, Greyhawk, and play with them. Then when your confidence rises, then go play in the tournament. And unsportsmanlike is just when someone's being unsporting, we talk about it in the podcast all the time. You know, it's time for you to advocate in that moment. And confront the conflict. Now, a lot of people don't even know they're being unsportsman. A lot of people are dicks, but I have discovered in Warhammer 40k, what you have is a lot of autism and neurodivergence and people who don't know what a social contract is, honestly. And that actually can be addressed in game. Tambo says, can I do that with red oxide? What is red oxide? Is it just a different red? Tamwolf, is it just paint? It's not like some effect, right? It's just paint, right? Beautiful work, brother. Wolf Lord. Snazzy. What the hell is this little thing? Get all that, bro, you primed all your cat hair into this fucking arm? Fucking cats. I don't think I have that color, but it's just, so it's just a paint. It's just a red. Should work. Take some and mix some white into it. Tell me what it looks like. Does it look pink? Pale pink? It's a yellowish red. Oh, it's even better. Go with the yellow version. For sure. Like start adding white to it. It should start looking a little peach and almost tangerine as you're adding white. And then eventually the white highlights, then glaze low opacity transparent yellow back over. That'll look real good. Stazzy, third model. I spend more time watching rather than painting. Lol. I'm just getting started. I wanted to do jade as a light, but I don't know how to get that effect with it. You mean like OSL? Greatly traced, yes. I was on my knees for years, and you wouldn't say yes. I saw your post the other day. My heart dropped. Alas. Fucking Greenleaf Train Studios. So OSL is about, in this situation, you need to pre-highlight. Snazzy, you need to paint all that shit inside those little holes white. Let it dry, and then you need to glaze the jade into that. So glazing is the technique you need. Now you can cheat it if you just cleanly paint inside there perfectly white, and then you take low opacity jade and just kind of wash it in there. You'll get a decent enough result for sure. But to make that high level OSL, you need to learn how to glaze and possibly airbrush for something like this. So those are effects and techniques that are down the line if you're new. So don't overcomplicate with the effect right now is my suggestion. So just painting those things solid white and just even washing them with a jade is all you need right now. Greyhawk, you have a weird brush that came with a set. It was gifted. It's bent 45 degrees. Bro, I've seen those for years. I don't fucking know what they are. Sam Wolf, are you not subbed? It's just giving you ads? God damn, dude. If the red oxide is already kind of yellowish, when you start adding the white, it should look a little bit more tangerine and peach colored than pink. And then as you move toward white in your highlights, that's even better for glazing the yellow over it, like I told you. So add some white to it on your palette, and if you see it trending that way, you're fine. If it looks pale pink or tangerine peach colored, both are fine for the working toward yellow strategy. Or pigment. Look at how these boxes work. These are so crazy. You got them upside down in there. That's so crazy how this works. Oh, this is the red oxide? Let me see. Okay. Yeah, I've seen it. I don't own it. Oh, Dr. D gifted it. Nice. Beautiful work, guys. Great job. You guys really did a lot. Holding this hobby down. Damn, well, it's like, no, if you're a dude, no offense. Bro, we're all dudes in here. I'd be shocked if we had any ladies in chat. I mean, it happens from time to time. You got about 8 minutes left. Okay, we have Recoil's mom in chat. That's true. Recoil. Oh, my cat's here. What are you doing? What is on your face? Bro. You're gonna get in trouble. I think he got paint on his face. How long you been in here? Fucking cat. Greyhawk, I use the number 4, the number 6 a lot, these two, and I use these little 18 zeros a lot. Synthetics. All right, let's talk about that tri-lighting again. See what we can do in 6 minutes. So, respect. So when I airbrushed it, we airbrushed it this color and this color. So I'm going to combine those two, find a respectful state that is a highlight. So because you see up here, it's darker. I'm going to try to stay high opacity, low moisture, but it's been on the palette for a while, so it's a little wet. So you got to be careful. Run that tracer. See? Rotate. And so when you show it a lot of respect like this, you can make mistakes and move fast. Now, as you add more highlight to the mix, therefore less respect, you got to be more and more careful. But again, we're still using the same combination of paints we already airbrushed. So that's a big cheat code in my opinion, because GW tries to sell you a completely different paint to add highlight with than you used for your base coat. That's always going to be a fail rate. And I'm trying to mitigate fail rate. So this is faded ultramarine and Payne's gray. And just using tracing, look how fast that was to generate. Now, as I move brighter and more into faded ultramarine, I'm going to focus on less of the real estate. And I like to focus on hard angles. Find those rotations. See, when it's round, I usually focus center mass. Like that. That's all tracing. Greyhawk, yeah. So, if these are the two paints that built this transition, we're starting there. Now, this is white blue. Now, I will use white blue, even though I didn't airbrush it. But now that I've built respect, I'm gonna generate a little bit of white blue respect. And pop some corners even further. See? So the mistake that people make because of GW is the whole idea of like one highlight to rule them all. And because we build these transitions with our airbrush, we need to be able to respect the dark real estate and the bright real estate. So here's that white blue. As I subtract from the faded ultramarine blue we already laid down. Build in our tracers. We're gonna have to run a heart pull right here, center mass. Remember, if it's round. I'm gonna grab a little bit more faded ultramarine and kind of get some respect back in, because I think I have to heart pull this side. I'm gonna get a little noosh, which is gonna lower the opacity a little bit, give me some more flow. Run that heart pull. Just brighten the same paint. That's right, Greyhawk. Yeah, you can use white and cut in. That's what we were talking about with the red, Greyhawk. White's not always the answer, though, because it will desaturate your paint, but sometimes it is the answer. And so I'm making lots of little piles as I go. Okay, I'm going back to respect, because you see how dark this thing is. So like that white blue is wrong. This. Messed up a little bit. See the ball, very dark. Get your respect going. Get back to the Payne's gray with a little faded ultramarine. Run your heart pull on the ball. Always respect the balls. Right there. And then we got a ball highlight right there. So I'm going to get more faded ultramarine because I can see that it's a little brighter. There you go. I'm going to paint these knee pads back to yellow, probably. And that's a bunch of just easy tracing. With like 1 or 2 heart pulls. Now you got to heart pull this line, so I'm going to establish respect. Faded ultramarine plus the Payne gray. Greenleaf, what are you asking?
You gotta get swifty in here. It's time to get swifty. Uh-oh. You gotta get swifty. Oh, yeah. Take off your pants and your panties. Shit on the floor.
And this is all over Greenleaf Trade Studio. You and me, we're going to get an apartment together. I'm going to get some of the paint off this brush. So that was our proof of concept. And we applied the battle ready strategy to both of these simultaneously. And now they're getting edge highlighted up. This project is owned by Recoil. He won them for our anniversary month. For our anniversary. And then we'll be back to finishing the Great Unclean one as soon as I get these guys knocked out. And we'll have to get back. We'll have to switch our mindset back to the Great Unclean one, which will be fun. To figure out how we did some stuff. Greyhawk says for the ultras, I'm doing obviously blue is the base. White is the contrast. Oh no. Dark blue, blue, sky blue. Those are the 3 colors from Manual Hobbies that I tell everyone for ultramarines. It's actually the first lesson of my course is airbrushing those 3 paints, because blue is a burly color that I want everyone to learn. Dark blue, a mid blue, and a bright blue. You want saturation for ultras. So dark blue, blue, sky blue. Waldo says happy Friday. Congrats on the engagement. Great to see you doing well. I appreciate you and your kind words, Waldo's. I'm going to go to my mom's house tomorrow, hang out with my parents, bringing Eileen, obviously. And I'll see you guys again on Tuesday. Shout out to Tam Wolf, Requel's mom, Waldo's. Thank you guys for the support. $20 is $20. I appreciate you guys. And I'll be promoting our Battle Ready boxes starting Tuesday. No worries, easy peasy. So let's set up a raid. Recoil, where's the raid going tonight? Monument sign. That's unusual. Okay. Oh, he's judging their monthly. Okay. Okay, so the rate is ticking down, guys. Bring the length, the girth, and the positivity on over to Jason Craze at Monument Hobbies. His apartment smells of rich mahogany and leather-bound books. From the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much for your support and your congratulations and your well wishes. And as always, until we meet again, play on, players.
Yo, dog, it's the beach lab, paint on the brain. Flow the heat, but my chaos won't wane. Trace the lines fine and brushing my hand. Not a scientist, but I got the plan. Wash it down like a hobo's dream. Heart pull heavy, but the colors gleam. Twitch stream live, we chasing the thrill. Kenny Boucher vibes, spending time to my will. Next level.